Global Rescue. Madrid Centro.
The gas was turned off. Jacqueline and Angelica has arrived at traffic accident and is awaiting instructions. The assigned emergency services cannot complete the task, evacuate the building, and are waiting for new instructions. Adrian and Di Carlo has arrived at traffic accident involving a truck and a car and is awaiting instructions. A 3-year-old is reported missing after a front door was left open. Gather information from the parents to determine the next steps. Several of the people rescued were seriously injured. Ventilation measures must be taken to remove the leaked gas. Jackie and Alessandro has arrived at additional task and is awaiting instructions. The building has been evacuated. The leaking fuel has been successfully removed. The witnesses must be questioned about the circumstances of the accident. The lab was ventilated. A small plane has crashed into a residential building. The building must be checked for injured people. There are 3 people on the plane that need to be rescued. Are injured and need to be examined and treated by paramedics. Injured have received medical treatment. 1 person needs to be taken to the hospital. A person trapped under a container was reported. The witness statements were recorded. Several people were injured in the accident and require medical assistance. The 2 individuals were treated at the scene and do not need to be taken to hospital. Alessandra and Camilla has arrived at car crash at intersection and is awaiting instructions. Drivers seem to be okay, but one of them is stuck inside their car due to the damage. Send in a firefighter to force open the vehicle's door. Roads must be closed to prevent further accidents. Police patrol car 1 has arrived at car crash at intersection and is awaiting instructions. arrived at plane crash and is awaiting instructions. Traffic is now blocked. Tommaso has arrived at person under container and is awaiting instructions. Several people were rescued from the building and require medical attention. Emergency ambulance Carmina has arrived at plane crash and is awaiting instructions. The trapped person was successfully freed and requires medical attention. Witnesses should be interviewed to determine the cause of the accident. Mila and Giulio has arrived at missing toddler and is awaiting instructions. Are not certain that the child left the house. Choose where you'd like to start the search. The assigned emergency services cannot complete the task rescue of persons and are waiting for new instructions. Injured have received medical treatment. The passengers rescued from the plane have sustained serious injuries requiring medical attention. Ambulance Ernesto has arrived at traffic accident and is awaiting instructions. The damage was documented. Injured have received medical treatment. 2 people need to be taken to the hospital. Injured driver in shock is attempting to flee. The toddler was not located in the house, and a neighborhood search must now be performed. A pedestrian was injured during the driver's escape. Injured person suffered more severe injuries and is now being treated by another emergency service. injured pedestrian received medical treatment. The assigned emergency services cannot complete the task rescue driver and are waiting for new instructions. The driver became impatient and climbed out of the car window, sustaining deep cuts from the broken glass. He now requires medical attention. Write a police report. An accident has been reported involving a public bus. The bus driver is trapped and needs to be rescued. Several people have minor injuries. Several people were seriously injured and require medical attention. The police report has been filed. Statements were recorded. Assigned emergency services cannot complete the task injured person and are waiting for new instructions. The bus is losing fuel. The missing toddler was not located and a regional emergency alert has been sent out. Juan has arrived at traffic accident involving a bus and is awaiting instructions. The bus driver was freed and requires medical attention. The leaking fuel has been successfully removed. The accident site was successfully secured. The injured have received medical treatment. One person needs to be taken to the hospital. persons have received medical treatment. The injured bus driver received medical attention. Now the witnesses must be questioned. The damage caused must be documented. The injured person suffered more severe injuries and is now being treated by another emergency service. The damages were documented. The witness statements were recorded. Assigned emergency services cannot complete the task check public defibrillators and are waiting for new instructions. Attention, exceptionally high crime rate. A particularly high number of crimes are currently being committed. has been reported in a residential building. The suspected perpetrator is still in the area around the building. Several residents witnessed the incident and should be interviewed. Person's smartphone was snatched from their hand and stolen. The thief must be caught quickly. Adrian and Di Carlo has arrived at burglary in a residential building and is awaiting instructions. A pickpocketing incident has been reported. The thief must be caught quickly. The witness statements were recorded. The perpetrator was successfully arrested. Assigned emergency services cannot complete the task check public defibrillators and are waiting for new instructions. A shop reports a shoplifting incident. The perpetrator has to be picked up and arrested. Alessandra and Camilla has arrived at stolen smartphone and is awaiting instructions. Burglary was reported at a residential building. The perpetrators gained entry through the patio door. Evidence must be secured and a report filed. The assigned emergency services cannot complete the task check public defibrillators and are waiting for new instructions. The perpetrator was successfully arrested. Adrian and Di Carlo has arrived at shoplifting and is awaiting instructions. Jacqueline and Angelica has arrived at pickpocketing and is awaiting instructions. The perpetrator was successfully arrested. The perpetrator was successfully arrested. A possible drug deal between two people was reported. The situation needs to be investigated. The witness statements were recorded. patrol car, one has arrived at residential burglary and is awaiting instructions. Jackie and Alessandro has stopped traffic control due to employee exhaustion and is returning to base. We've received multiple calls about an accident at an intersection involving multiple vehicles. Send officers to check the situation and direct traffic. A forensic team has arrived and is beginning to collect the evidence at the scene. The suspects were checked, but no drugs were found. Incident. A fire has broken out on a regional train. Multiple injuries are expected. First, stop all rail traffic. Alessandra and Camilla has arrived at car crash at intersection and is awaiting instructions. One of the vehicles caught fire. Extinguish it before it spreads. Roads must be closed to prevent further accidents. A drowning incident has been reported. Observe the situation and then proceed accordingly. One of the drivers is in respiratory distress. Medical attention is urgently required. FRG. Jorge and Deputy Mila has arrived at fire on regional train and is awaiting instructions. The fire has been successfully extinguished. The report has been filed. Traces of a pry bar were found. A dog was left in a car. It is getting hotter and hotter. Traffic is now blocked. Turn off the power and ground the overhead line so that emergency personnel can safely work on the train. Onlookers have gathered at the station. Ensure that they do not hinder rescue efforts. Ambulance 1 has arrived at car crash at intersection and is awaiting instructions. Ambulance Ernesto has arrived at person drowning and is awaiting instructions. The station is secured and the onlookers are under control. An animal welfare complaint has been filed against the owners. The owners must be identified. The drowning person is injured and needs immediate medical attention. Question the witnesses of the drowning. The injured person has received medical treatment. One person needs to be taken to the hospital. dog was successfully rescued and tended to. Owners have been identified. They face a heavy fine. Adrian and Di Carlo has arrived at person drowning and is awaiting instructions. Witness statements were recorded. Decide how to proceed. Extinguishing the fire directly inside the train is faster, but poses a higher risk for the emergency services. Extinguishing the fire from outside is safer, but can lead to more civilian injuries. The injured person has received medical treatment. And Giulio has arrived at additional task and is awaiting instructions. for any remaining embers. Several people with minor injuries were rescued and require medical attention. One seriously injured person was rescued. An ember was discovered on the train. Extinguish the fire. The fire has been successfully extinguished. The slightly injured persons received medical attention. 3 people need to be taken to the hospital. Injured person received medical attention.